What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back on the film frequency. Just for a quick morning catch up. I know we missed our usual Monday release date. Some personal stuff going on. I'm sure me and JB will talk about it at some point. But I didn't want to go a whole week without dropping content for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this live stream. And I wanted to talk about the first thing, and you see the title, Doctor Strange 2 the director has officially confirmed his involvement. So Sam Raimi has officially confirmed that he will be directing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And Scott, Derrickson was really good in the first Doctor Strange. I was really looking forward to his vision. I think that he was able to do something visually that not a lot of people may have been able to do with that character. So, you know, when it was said that he wasn't going to direct the sequel anymore, it immediately worried me of, okay, now who's going to direct it? Who can come back in, kind of pick that up, and keep the same vibe, keep the same energy and tone of that film. And I couldn't pick anyone better than Sam Raimi. The fact of, like, we all know what he's done in like Evil Dead, and also with the Spider-Man, the 3 Spider-Man movies he's done for Sony. So he's been in the comic book world before, but I think more so than that, especially when we have heard that Doctor Strange 2 may be, and Feige has fought against saying that it's going to be a horror film, but I think it's going to have horror influences and maybe imagery. And I couldn't want for anyone better than Sam Raimi to pick that in. I think he's going to bring a unique look, and also a lot of what Sam Raimi does is practical effects. So we'll see how that goes. Marvel does the CGI very heavy, but especially if you want to go with tone, if you want to go with great imagery, doing it practically is going to it's going to make it stand out amongst the other Marvel films. So I really do hope that that's the case. Of course, with the pandemic that's going on, they can't film. We probably won't get any set leaks or anything for probably better part of a year. If even then, it's going to be a while before we get to see anything visually from it. But Sam Raimi coming in, there's no holes in that for me, none at all. I think that's perfect, and just great characters overall. I don't know who's confirmed to come back for the sequel. Obviously, we're gonna have Doctor Strange back, like that goes without saying, and Cumberbatch is a great actor, and the pairing between those two is going to be really, really good. Really good. So I'm looking forward to that one. The next thing that I want to talk about on this quick hit is we got the first set photos coming out from Dune. And Dune, it's been a movie that's been like in different levels of development hell for like the better part of a decade. We've gotten several Dune films announced or either started production or quote unquote, that they were going to go forward. But the fact that now we have something tangible from it and visual, I think is going to really, and I always have these headphones on, but I think it's going to be really good, and we'll see how it goes. The set photos, the characters look good, the designs look great, and you get kind of a tone from this, but just like with like first trailers, sometimes that doesn't convey the tone of the movie, so there's only so much you can get from this. But what I will say is that I'm glad that the film is done. They're releasing photos. The cast is amazing. Like, just what can you say? There's really no holes in the cast, and they really got a great mix of like younger, established people, and especially if they plan on doing the franchise, which would be really, really good. Zendaya's in this movie, who I'm just so impressed with Zendaya's range as an actress and what she continues to do. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this Dune film, and it's once, especially with like everything that's going on, it's always good to get news, and Dune is something that so many people love and have an affection for, and to get these set photos that at least look right now like they're getting it right, I think it's very important. Yeah, and Timothy Chalamet, everybody's saying that he looks like Kylo Ren, and the Kylo Ren character is really, it's kind of easy to duplicate that look, and not even intentionally. So I really do think that, all the jokes aside and the memes aside, I really do hope that this movie is just going to be great. Like, I really have high expectation. I really think that Candyman is one of the movies that I'm looking most forward to. Definitely, I'm looking forward to this as well. Um, But yeah, that's it on the Dune film. I do want to talk about one more thing before I go. I know again, this is just a quick episode to give you guys content and then also talk about some things that have been on my mind. Hopefully, me and JB are able to link up soon and record a full episode. If not, you'll get a full episode with me solo on next Monday. But AMC Theaters. So everything looks like AMC Theaters is going to go ahead and file for bankruptcy. And so that means something a little bit different when you're a corporation of their size. It really doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to close down. It could possibly just mean that, they're going to protect their assets, and that's what bankruptcy is for a lot of these, for larger corporations, is to protect assets. And especially when you look at them not being able to pay the rent of some of the for their theaters, just not generating any income at all. It makes sense that they're going to go this route. Now, does this make them more susceptible for somebody to come in and buy AMC theaters? I know that there's like AMC theaters may never reopen. Some theaters may never reopen. I really think that if AMC theaters does not reopen at all, it's a huge problem. And I don't think that that's going to, whether it's a government bailout or another larger company coming in and purchasing them, when you really think about it, even that it's a huge undertaking for any company. I know there's been like Amazon could potentially buy AMC theaters. No, Disney will not. But yeah, there's a lot of different companies that can come in possibly once this is all over, and try to purchase AMC theaters. And I think that that's more likely than them just shutting down, because if you look at like the foundation of AMC, it's the biggest chain in the country. So that just going away, I don't think would happen, because somebody's going to come in and want that infrastructure, is going to want, like, you're automatically set up. Yeah, it's a super large purchase, but when you think about it, it's almost guaranteed to be worth it in the long run if you can wait it out. Now, short term, probably not. It's going to lose a lot of money short term, especially, there's articles going around that theaters aren't expected to open up to probably mid-July, which kind of makes sense, especially if the social distancing ends May 1st. If it doesn't, then of course it's probably going to be extended from that. But that's really probably the earliest that they can start reopening. And even then, it may still be at a smaller capacity, not selling all the tickets, maintaining this or selling a number of tickets to where people can stay distant from people, because it's going to take a long time for everyone to kind of get over that mental hump of going right back into like group settings. So there's a lot of different permutations of how this could work. But hopefully, I just hope, I'm not, and I've said this before in the podcast, I'm not a person who really is always for government bailouts per se, especially with larger companies. But in a case like this, I really do think that it's probably best for everyone and the economy, and just fair to everyone. If a bailout does happen, of course they'll have to pay that money back, and we'll see how that affects their financial standing in the long run, because they were just purchasing a lot before this. They were catching up. That's part of why this hit them so hard, is that they I can't remember how many millions of dollars they spent with gaining assets. So it particularly hit them harder in a case like this. The very last thing, I know I kind of said that was the last thing, but the very last thing that I want to talk about is the director of Tron Legacy says that a Tron 3 could possibly happen. He talked about how much he loves the Tron universe, and how, it is one of the Disney properties that, people have an affinity for. And yeah, I think most Disney properties people do. And Tron can very well be a franchise. I enjoy Tron Legacy very much. I mean, you got to think, I don't even know if I was alive when the original Tron came out. So, like, as much as I do love the original Tron, the Tron Legacy is my Tron. And so I Garrett Hudlin was great in it, in my opinion. I know people have issues with him, but overall, I like what they went with the story. And, even how they ended it, it kind of set up for a sequel that I would have really looked forward to. And I think even if they reboot, there's a Disney, that it may be great for like a Disney Plus series. When you think about something in the Tron universe, then you can have maybe in the Tron world and outside into the real world, and you can do a lot of great things like that. Yeah, I had never thought about a series, but there's things that can be done with the Tron franchise. It's dormant, not dead. Maybe they are going to go the reboot route, or maybe they're going to go the Disney Plus route and tell that story all the way from the beginning. Maybe a unique take on it, to kind of update it some. There's a lot of different things that they can do with that Tron universe, and I just think as an IP, it's one that you don't want to completely let go away permanently. I wouldn't. Like, I can think of things that you can do, and especially now when you look at video game culture, it's so big now. Like, you have these leagues that air on channels like ESPN and pay-per-views. Like, considering where gaming is and that Tron is built around gaming, you have to think that somebody can have an interesting take and a great story to tell with that. At least I would like to think that someone out there has a great take on it. But that's it for these quick hits. I'm going to try to hit you guys with this more often, maybe always on Wednesdays. Maybe we'll do like a midweek catch up in between the episodes releasing, but you will get an episode this week. I promise. Been watching a lot of content on streaming services. Let me know what you guys are watching down below. If you have any suggestions for things you would like to see us review. But that's it. I'm Hayes. Make sure you follow the Film Frequency. Make sure you send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, the Film Frequency Pod at gmail.com. And also join our Facebook discussion group. Just search the Film Frequency on Facebook. It's great. It's not us just talking about the podcast. It's just really that group talks about movies and TV at a really deep level. So make sure you check that out as well. But that's it for this live stream. I'm out. Good morning to you guys.